Hi guys, and welcome to my kitchen. So, welcome back to another Wednesday. Challenges I'm going to leave out in this video, such as Justin's Cook a Meal challenge, which I will probably be doing next week. I just want to dedicate a really good, solid video to that. Whereas this week has sort of been, there's been a lot of challenges and questions by the nerds, so I'm gonna try and get through as many of those as possible. I am sorry if I skip a question or I just run out of time for it. I don't want to make a massive video like I did last time. Anyways, let's get to it. So for Nicole's challenge, this challenge is kind of not really a challenge for me, because not only am I into steampunk, but I naturally had a sort of obsession with hats, so having ones as ridiculous as this is not a challenge for me. So I believe the first challenge that I'm going to do, besides wearing a silly hat and playing music happy, is Zach's challenge, which was to do a minute-long review of the most recent game that we played. When he said it, I mean, I've played games since then, but the game I've been sort of working my way through was a gift from a friend, so this is going to be my review. Okay, so the game that I'm reviewing is called Secrets, which is by Iridian Studios. It's an indie game, it's a rhythm-based game, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I necessarily thought I would. It's got really great art. It is kind of like Stepmania, so if you're a big fan of Stepmania or DDR or anything that's rhythm-based, where timing is essential, it's really great. The art is awesome. I love the story concept. It's an RPG. It meshes the Stepmania sort of idea with an RPG element. I would suggest skipping easy mode. I know a lot of people, especially in an RPG setting, want that, but I find it's too slow-paced for me. The music's by Michael Wade Hamilton and Ronald Jenkins, and it's just so good. I love so many of the songs. You play as a boy named Kai, and you're led through a labyrinth-like tower by a girl called Naya, and it's great. I seriously suggest you check it out. So I'm not sure if this stigma flies when a girl wears a trilby, but anyways, the next question was top 5 games. So, a little backstory. I don't currently and never have owned a console. They are forbidden in my household, so all the games I've ever owned are on PC, and that really limited my options in a lot of ways. And towards the beginning of my gaming days, the games were largely things my parents bought for me, so there's a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon stuff and The Sims, and those are, while they featured a large part, unfortunately, of my gaming experience when I was younger, are definitely not in the top 5 of the games that I played. So most of the games that I played, I only discovered recently in like the past 4 to 3 years. Some of them I've only discovered this year and last year. Anyways, these are my top 5 in no particular order, and there is 1 or 2 nostalgic games on here which you will probably judge me for. So okay. Again, no particular order. BioShock. Again, I could not get this game. I could not afford it on PC, and I didn't have a console, so I couldn't borrow a friend's game until this year when I managed to get it in one of the Steam bundles during Christmas. I'd always been sort of interested in the game since it came out because of the aesthetic, being obsessed with steampunk, anything retro at all, especially on the darker side of that era, really interests me. The setting's amazing, the art is great, the story really drew me in. I love the combat. The combat's awesome. So yeah, BioShock moved really quickly this year to my top 5 games. I need to finish that series. I have not had time. University sucks. Portal 2. I know this will probably please Nicole, but yeah, Portal 2. I played through Portal, the first Portal, kind of staggeredly when I first got it, because I didn't have a lot of time with Get By, but I didn't play it as fluidly as I should have. And so I was looking at the game one day and I was like, I should really play through this fluid. So I played the first Portal and I was like, okay, I need the second one of this. So I got the second Portal and I just, oh my god, it blew my mind. It was just so good. It was just the mechanics. I loved it. So Portal 2 is definitely on there, especially for games that make you think. I like games that make you think, but don't pander to the stereotype of learning games that's really cheesy. Borderlands 2. Yeah. Just the expansive world in Borderlands 2, and I really like the backgrounds of the characters and the storylines, and the fact that they had fun with the game, like they put in weapons in the game where it's like, what the hell is this? But the creators wanted to have fun with it, and they went with it, and it fits into the universe, so I love that. Yeah, it's a really fun game, which puts it on my list. Ever since I picked it up, there's never been a time where someone's like, do you want to play Borderlands? And I'm like, nah. So, it's on there. Okay, this is where I geek out. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I know Justin mentioned this game recently, and not in one of his videos, but in a conversation we were having, and it just reminded me so much of how I love Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It's just, it was everything I wanted in a Star Wars game. Originally I got Star Wars The Old Republic, like the MMO. The cinematics for that are really great. The combat is shitty. It's not at all what I expected. And other than some of the storylines and the plots being slightly interesting, unless you're a Sith and you go around killing people for fun, there's really no point to Star Wars The Old Republic unless you have a lot of cash to burn. And I don't. And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, when I picked that up, believe me, they are two very different games, and if you say that they aren't, I will cut you. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, so much playtime. Like, you can just mess around with it so much. You can... I don't know, my first playthrough, I was sort of like a chaotic evil / good. I don't know what I was. I would just, like, randomly click on alignments, like, answers for things, and be like, I feel evil today. Which is not necessarily the smartest way to go. But, it was a lot of fun, and Justin reminded me recently that I have to play through that again and pick like a definite side and either be like a paladin for the good side of the Force or just like the most evil badass Sith ever. Because Sith. And then childhood. I'm gonna do a send up to my childhood here. Star Wars Droidworks. I know none of you probably know about this game, and the ones that do will probably judge me forever for this, but that game ruled my childhood. I got so much time out of it. Just the fact that you could create your own robot and like custom paint them, like custom fit them with things, and you had to figure out what length of battery life you needed for certain missions, because if you didn't bring enough batteries, there weren't enough battery drops for you to survive, and then you would just die in the middle of the desert, and it was like, and you're like running to the exit, and like your battery is low, and you like just feel yourself crumbling away to like this inches from the door, and you die anyways, and you're like, why? And then there's these things where you couldn't jump far enough unless you had a perfect pair of droid legs, so you had to find the droid legs in a different mission because you couldn't get them otherwise. I may be too much of a Star Wars fan for my own good. And the assassin robots creeped me the fuck out, and I screamed. I was like 7 when I first played that game. And the first time you need an assassin robot, I was like, I had to get my brother to like come over and help me. Anyways, those are my top 5 games. Judge me. I know, judge me a lot. If there were any other questions or challenges for me to do. Anyways, this video is long enough as it is, so I'm sorry if I didn't get to you today. I know that's bad. I will answer all questions and challenges at the end of my cook a meal video next week, in which I hope to be barbecuing salmon. So that's my video. I'm not gonna give anyone a question or a challenge this week because I know it's kind of been hectic with those. So just, if you need a challenge, my challenge is relax at home. Do something you love. Just go out, enjoy the weather, or don't. If you want to stay inside and be a shut-in, that's cool. Yeah, no challenge or question this week. Have fun, guys, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!